kuelimishwa fika na tosha kuhusu usalama wao barabarani. Je, kuna ukweli katika kauli hii?
Vyuo vya kujifunza kuendesha magari nchini Kenya sio kwa lazima.
Kweli?
Kama unajua kuendesha gari, unaenda na unapata license.
Sheria nyingi zimebuniwa na serikali kuhusu usalama barabarani na lazima wananchi wafunze pia.
Waliogonjeka wamepelekwa hospitalini.
Waliougua wamepelekwa hospitalini.
Piga makofi huyu. Hutaniona wala kunikumbuka.
Utaniona na utanikumbuka.
Wema hauozi.
Wema hauozi. Nomino?
Wema.
Wema.
That show felt it necessary to have a discussion on perimenopause, where we will get to explore the nuances of perimenopause in a bid to better understand it and to ease the transition.
So perimenopause is the transition to that point of menopause.
Yeah.
So as the eggs reduce towards the menopause, it means the estrogen levels also reduce.
Yeah.
And that comes with that now causes the symptoms that we get during the perimenopausal and postmenopausal period.
The night sweats were the most bothersome. Right now, the brain fog is easing and the insomnia has kind of resolved. But I've had to do something about it. The post, I think the perimenopause is the wildest because you have just come out of your youthful 20s,
exactly.
And now you're going through your 30s, and then towards the end of your 30s, things just are not working right.
My name is DJ D, and on the ones and twos is
DJ Leo.
We bring you the best of African entertainment.
From Afrobeat to Amapiano.
Daddy, me I want to party.
Genge to bongo.
Rusha mikono kama unaona uko tipsy. Rusha mikono kama maisha iko fiti.
And Zouk to Kwaito.
Put me for party.
And not only that, anything juicy in the entertainment industry, we give it to you. Catch us every Sunday from 2:30 to 4 p.m.
Only on KBC Channel 1.
It's the 18th of January, the longest month in the year. But you're just in time for the Legends Edition, coming to you live from Broadcasting House, Nairobi, Kenya. Top in this bulletin. Dukamoja deadly protests. Security apparatus moved to the ground in a fact-finding mission. Following Friday's chaotic riots, they left 2 people dead and several police officers injured in Narok. Withheld KCSE results released. The Gulu Girls High School in celebratory mood after Kenya National Examinations Council gave it a clean bill of health over exam cheating. New bishop in town. Canon Jonathan Kabiru elected to head the Anglican Diocese in Nairobi. And in sports, athletes put their best foot forward in the bid to represent their regions in next month's Athletics Kenya National Cross Country Trials. Thank you very much for making us your choice this evening. My name is Edmund Mudibo, and our sign language interpreter is Lucy Moura. Residents of Moy's Bridge in Uasin Gishu County are counting losses after a fire razed to the ground property worth millions of shillings. According to eyewitnesses, the fire allegedly originated from an electrical fault that spread to a gas cylinder shop and caused a huge explosion. Firefighters from the Trans Nzoia County government helped put out the fire, which destroyed more than 50 shops. Moy's Bridge residents, while hailing the Trans Nzoia County government for the quick response, urged the county government to establish a nearby fire station in the region. No injuries or fatalities have been recorded as investigations to establish the cause of the fire commences.
Singishu imetuchukua kwamba kana kwamba sisi watu ambao tunatoka Kakamega County, wengine Trans Nzoia, lakini tunaomba tutambulike kama wana Moy's Bridge Ward, tuko katika kaunti ya Uasin Gishu, maana tunaathirika vitu, tunaathirika na county government ya Uasin Gishu inachukua muda wa kuja kutusaidia. Tunaomba kaunti ya Uasin Gishu itusaidie.
Tunaomba tu Uasin Gishu, kuna shida na uongozi, wameingia kwa siasa na wameacha wananchi na vitu vyao. So kwa hivyo tunaomba kwamba warekebisha kama kuna mahali penye panastahili kurekebika.
A swimming escapade turned tragic today afternoon after a student from the New Birth Technical College drowned at a local quarry dam commonly known as Kirasha at Kwakungu in Daragwa, Nyandarua County. He was in the company of a colleague when the tragedy happened. According to eyewitnesses, the first student dived and managed to swim across the dam, with his colleague following closely, only for him to be stuck at the middle. This dam served as a quarry during the tarmacking of the Nyahururu-Nyeri highway years ago. The body is yet to be recovered. Lugulu Girls High School has finally received its results for last year's KCSE National Examination after being delayed by the Kenya National Examinations Council, KNEC, for 2 weeks. In an exciting spin, the school has posted exemplary results, recording a mean score of 9.34, with 13 A's and 93 A- emerging as the best in the Western region. The cause of the delay in releasing the exam results is still unknown.
At Lugulu Girls High School, there were celebrations in the school after the Kenya National Examination Council released their 2024 KCSE results. NEC had withheld their results for 14 days over suspicion of exam malpractice.
Tumeongea na principal, tunajaribu kuona vile tunaweza kutatua hiyo shida, lakini shida imetoka kwetu sisi wenyewe.
In an amusing twist, the school had achieved an impressive mean score of 9.34, recording 13 A's and 93 A-, making it one of the top performers in the Western region. But the answers on why the results were withheld and the outcome of the process, if any, remain unknown. With the nightmare of anxiety behind them now, the excitement shows in the face of candidates and the parents. Only 4 of the 676 candidates who sat the exam in the school did not make the minimum requirement for university entry, being a C+. Opicho Chemtai, Legends Edition.
President William Ruto has called on religious actors to provide society with a moral compass necessary to overcome the challenges it faces due to moral decline. The head of state, who on Saturday met the leadership of the Akorino Church at State House, Nairobi, emphasized the collective responsibility the society plays in ensuring the integrity of the country's moral fabric. Information, Communication and Digital Economy Cabinet Secretary William Kabogo has called on Kenyans to be responsible as they use social media to avoid infringing on the rights of others. The CS, who assumed office on Saturday, also vowed to put his best foot forward to ensure that he delivers on his mandate with a keen focus on digitization, improving connectivity and fighting corruption in the ministry.
Saturday morning at Teleposta Towers in Nairobi. After last working for the government in 1984, William Kabogo was back, this time round as the Information, Communication and the Digital Economy Cabinet Secretary. The CS was handed over the tools of operation by the Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, who emphasized the need to improve government communication.
If you do not blow your own trumpet, then who will blow it for you? That is the issue. So it is important that we also package what we achieve and what we do appropriately and let the Kenyan people know that we are doing certain things that are in the interest of this country.
Kabogo promised to embrace teamwork to ensure that he delivers.
Mambo ya kuweka internet kila mahali, hiyo ni kazi yetu. Mambo ya kuleta image ya Konza, hiyo ni jukumu letu. Very quickly, I will be everywhere. Not micromanaging, but understanding what it is that we are doing and hoping that we shall be able to do that together.
This ministry has a major role to play to make sure that it helps the president and government general to develop and, of course, pursue its agenda to provide service to the people.
He cautioned players under his ministry against engaging in corruption.
I have a phobia. I have a problem with corruption. So when you see it, please don't touch it. Let it pass.
The CS also urged the public to ensure that they are responsible as they exercise their freedom of expression, especially on social media.
Freedom of expression, freedom of saying things that you need to say, but you know that freedom is limited to the extent it interferes with the freedom of others. But with AI, some of these things are excellent, but you use it properly. Sasa nyinyi mnataka uniweka kwa coffin alafu unaniombea kufa bwana.
Unapata mtu mzima, wengine hata ni profesa, anajua sheria, lakini anachukua namba ya Mudavadi, anabwaga kule nje, anasema msalamie, deliberately infringing the privacy laws and basically calling for anarchy.
CS Kabogo takes over the ministry that was previously held by Dr. Margaret Ndungu. He becomes the third cabinet secretary to serve the ministry under the Kenya Kwanza administration. Deputy Chief of Staff in charge of performance and delivery, Eliud Owalo, also served under the same ministry. Nancy Okware, Legends Edition.
Canon Jonathan Kabiru has been elected the third bishop of the Nairobi Diocese. Bishop-elect Kabiru emerged victorious in the first round of an election which was carried out by an electoral college consisting 23 delegates at ACK St. Stephen's Cathedral, Jogoo Road. Canon Jonathan Kabiru takes over from Bishop Joel Waweru, who retired in September last year upon attainment of 60 years.
After the retirement of Right Reverend Joel Waweru, the Anglican Church of Kenya in Nairobi ushered in a new bishop-elect.
We have done a very successful and very friendly election where all candidates have participated like brothers, and we have got a first round success.
Canon Jonathan Kabiru will take over the leadership mantle of the church after winning an election conducted on Saturday in Nairobi.
So we have with us the bishop-elect, Canon Jonathan Kabiru.
After the church's electoral college consisting 23 delegates voted, Kabiru emerged winner in a tight race, pitting him against renowned shepherds in the Anglican Church, Canon Dr. Sami Wainaina, as well as Canon Joshua Omungo.
I'm grateful to God for the opportunity to serve in this capacity, taking it over from those who have been there before me, Bishop Peter Joka and Bishop Joel Waweru. And I'm sure that by God's grace, we'll be able to carry the diocese to the next level.
The new election of the third bishop of the Anglican Church of Kenya, Nairobi Diocese, comes at a critical time for both the church and the city. His leadership is expected to serve as a beacon of moral guidance, and his integrity will be instrumental in addressing the challenges facing the urban population in Nairobi City and the Anglican Church doctrine.
Waswahili husema asiyekubali kushindwa asiye. Unapoingia kwenye vita lazima ujue unaweza poteza na unaweza kushinda. Basi nitoe pongezi zangu kwa askofu mteule na kukuombea kila laheri. Where you need my support or advice, I'll continue to give you.
I congratulate my brother, the Venerable Canon Jonathan Kabiro, who is a friend, a brother and a colleague, and now Bishop-elect. He's capable and will support you, my brother, as we journey on into the future.
So we have now another phase where we are going to prepare the consecration and the enthronement. I request that we pull our minds together, our skills together, our resources together.
Joseph Ohungu for Legends Edition.
Police have launched investigations into the Friday deadly skirmishes in Dukamoja area of Narok County that left 2 people dead and 15 police officers injured. Security chiefs led by the Director of Operations in the Police Department, William Liampoi, Independent Policing Oversight Authority IPOA officers, and those from the Kenya National Highway Authority, KENHA, visited the area to find a solution. The chaos that lasted for hours caused a huge traffic snarl-up on the busy Mai Mahiu Narok Road.
Police have confirmed that 2 people lost their lives in clashes between police and residents in Dukamoja area of Narok County. 15 police officers were among those injured during the skirmishes. Residents who blocked the Narok Mai Mahiu highway were protesting an incident where their livestock was hit by a speeding truck, ran over their livestock, killing at least 30 sheep Thursday night. But a reconciliatory tone dominated Saturday's meeting between the residents and government officials, among them the police, who had visited the area in a fact-finding mission.
Tuendelee kushirikiana. Wale askari ambao wataletwa na wakubwa hapa, naomba kwamba muendelee kushirikiana na wao. Hata sisi wakati tunawaambia kwamba wakiwa huku waendelee kufanya kazi na wananchi. Hiyo ndio vile inatakikana. Alafu shida kama hii ikitokea, asasi za serikali iko kufanya uchunguzi.
Director of Operations of the Police Department, William Yampoi, called for a mutual relationship between the law enforcers and citizens.
Na yale mumesema ya kwamba maneno ya kuondoa exhibit kwa pahali ya accident ilikuwa ni makosa. Ni makosa kabisa. Tumekubali haya ni makosa. Na sisi polisi hatuchukulii maneno ile tunaelezwa tu namna hiyo. Tunafanya uchunguzi. Mimi nataka kueleza watu ya IPOA, we will cooperate. Tutacooperate 100% tupate ukweli, au raia wapate ukweli.
However, local leaders who condemn the incident have also increasingly pushed for justice to be served.
Hii issue itatuliwa once and for all, and I want to recommend ya kwamba hii barabara kwa sababu imekuwa tatizo, watafute underpath ambao ng'ombe inapita kwa hii barabara. Pale Ndulele waweke underpath, hapa juu ya nini ya Oloikarere waweke underpath.
The irate residents were protesting the alleged action by police to dump at least 30 sheep in a forest after they were hit and killed by a speeding truck at night. Timothy Kipnoso for Legends Edition.
Thank you, Timothy. A family from Shihambi in the outskirts of Kakamega town is appealing for financial aid amounting to 2 million shillings to help their kin undergo corrective heart surgery in India. The 1.5-year-old girl is battling a severe heart condition that has forced the family to rely on an oxygen tank at home for her survival.
Taraji Miles, aged 1.5 years old, suffers from a congenital heart defect, with doctors recommending urgent surgery in India to help close 2 holes in the heart that will allow her to live a normal life.
Moyo yenyewe imefura na imeaffect lungs na liver. So wakasema hawezi pia fanya surgery Kenya because she has pulmonary hypertension, pulmonary edema. So haiwezekani Kenya hizo drugs haziko na mashine ya lungs yenye atawekwa ndani hakuna.
Meanwhile, Taraji depends on an oxygen tank that costs 3,000 shillings to refill every week, with other drugs costing approximately 12,000 shillings monthly.
Kama leo oxygen imeisha usiku na haezi kabila oxygen, inakuwa ni shida sana. Mimi hata kukaa na mtoto mwenyewe mpaka asubuhi.
To fund the heart surgery that Taraji urgently needs in India requires the family to have 2 million Kenyan shillings, an amount that they are unable to raise.
Naomba mnisaidie, mnichangie maisha mtoto wangu irudi sawa, ili pia mimi nikaweze kujisimamia kibiashara na nijimudu kimaisha.
Taraji's future remains uncertain as the family struggles to balance the cost of daily care with their desperate hope of raising funds for the life-saving surgery.
Hata kule nilikuwa naishi, si kila mtu anaelewa shida yako. Landlord aliweza kunitupa nje na watoto. Sikuwa na pali pa kwenda, ikabidi nirudi nyumbani kwa mama. Ndio mali nipo. Wakenya najua mna huruma, mnaweza nifikia, mkaweze kunisaidia.
To help the family, you can channel your contributions via paybill number 8059883, account name Taraji, or you can send through her mother's phone number 0707186818, name Elizabeth Temesi. Opito Chemtai, Legends Edition.
Environment, Climate Change and Forestry Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale has condemned political leaders who he claims are inciting youth against the government. Duale says while President William Ruto remains receptive to criticism, political players should exercise responsibility in their utterances. In apparent reference to remarks made by retired President Uhuru Kenyatta on Friday, calling on the youth in the country to defend their democratic rights, Duale says such remarks could end up fanning animosity in the country. He spoke at the launch of Garissa Boys High School Alumni Association here in Nairobi.
And I want to ask leaders, more so political leaders, current leaders and former leaders of our country, not to encourage our young people to commit acts of violence, regardless of our political affiliation and differences. Let us not encourage our young people, the future of the nation, into acts of violence, into acts of civil disobedience. When you stand before young people, our Gen Zs, you must, as a leader, you have a moral responsibility, because all leaders are parents and will lead the country, and you had an opportunity to lead the country. Do not ask young people and encourage them to commit violence. Encourage them to keep peace and stability of our country.
A Kenyan cyclist has completed a cycling campaign to raise funds for education. Ian Gishohi Mwangi, a Starehe Boys School alumni, embarked on his mission on the 1st of November last year, cycling 10,500 kilometers from Egypt to South Africa in an attempt to raise 100 million shillings meant to support vulnerable children's access to education.
At the Namanga border post, Starehe School's fraternity gathered to welcome Ian Gishohi. The mission by the former Starehe Boys High School students, whose journey was once highlighted by KBC Channel 1, is finally over. In a rare yet worthwhile initiative aimed at helping vulnerable students pursue education, Gishohi embarked on a 10,500-kilometer cycling campaign from Cairo in Egypt to South Africa's Cape Town.
I've been doing this to raise funds enough for 50 boys and 50 girls, 100 students in the Starehe schools in perpetuity. That is the why. And of course, the other side of it is for the adventure.
The fact that we are studying in Starehe, most of us for free, quote unquote, but by the efforts of very many people, including our brother Ian, who did an enormous feat. It's beyond words.
Displaying a smile of triumph, Gishohi narrates the challenges he had to endure as he traversed the terrains from Egypt to Cape Town, where he completed the campaign.
Egypt and Ethiopia posed different and interesting challenges, different along the way. In Egypt was the weather, it was hot. Though luckily it was during the winter, but it was still hot. Cycling through the desert, language barrier and all that. I remember being told, you have to ride fast because there are threats like kidnapping. They see you as a foreigner. Personally, I've been called Mzungu enough times, in as much as I'm not.
Though Ian has managed to raise a total of 3 million shillings against the initial target of 100 million shillings, he remains optimistic about supporting needy children to quench their thirst for knowledge.
People can still send in whatever to the pay bill, that is 717171, account 524. That money goes to the Starehe schools.
She has inspired me so much because personally I can say I'm a sponsored student, and I also feel that I can also feel the weight of the much that he has done, and so that he can also help other students in future enjoy what he has enjoyed in school.
John Kahiro for Legends Edition.
What an inspiring story. Well, it's time for our first break. We beseech thee to stay with us. Plenty more on the other side.
Christmas ni sahi ishafika na ni kubwa kubwa. Kweli? Hii Kristi ni bomba na Blue Santa kupitia star 570 hash option 1. Rudia. Star 570 hash option 1. Iko PlayStation 5 na 55 TV na iko 500,000 Kenyan shillings.
Nambuzi moja?
Nambuzi. 1 million Kenyan shillings na Samsung S24 Ultra.
Nambuzi moja?
Iko 2 million Kenyan shillings na iPhone 16 Pro Max.
Nambuzi mbili.
Blue Santa amekuja na zawadi kibao. Nani kubwa Hapa kuna ndogo ndogo. Hapa Christmas ni bomba.
An estimated 4% of the global population currently experience an anxiety disorder.
I'm about to do something important, and then I just crash.
This week on Health and Lifestyle, we talk about mindfulness. You can practice mindfulness anywhere. Simple things like guided breathing techniques while sitting in traffic to more structured practices like body scanning or walking meditation can all promote relaxation.
If you wish to create a nice future, how is your present looking? Because remember, your present has been created from your past. So naturally, your future will be created from your present.
For more details, join us this Sunday at 6:30 p.m. only on KBC Channel 1.
Hawa si watu wamejuana leo. They must be hiding something.
Hii dunia unaangalia urafiki wa matumbo yako, sio kuwa smart.
Nimedani ni rafiki wangu wa siku mingi, sio itakapoteza urafiki yake.
Hiyo sasa ni kumaanisha nini?
Nyinyi mko na vita mingi sana.
Si jeni mnapenda naye.
Si uniache nitulie.
Mame, Matel. Finally umeamka. Good morning, Queen Jane. Jane, habari ya asubuhi?
I think God is giving me another chance.
Jane, are you okay?
I think ni hizi dawa.
Unajua Jane anaongea na parables. Mimi hata simuelewi.
I think hizo siku mingi alikuwa hospitali ndo zinamuaffect.
Ana shida akisema ati amegundua kila mtu ni muongo.
I don't trust anyone.
Mpaka mimi yake.
Welcome back. Thank you for keeping it Legends Edition. Kisumu is set for a multi-billion lakefront real estate project aimed at creating an inclusive community for Kenyans of diverse socio-economic backgrounds. Christened LV Marina, the expansive project to be constructed less than 10 kilometers from the Kisumu Central Business District along the Kisumu-Busia Highway combines the elements of luxury lifestyle and the affordable housing program. Wycliffe Okech reports.
Statistics indicate that at least 60% of Kenya's urban population lives in the informal settlement areas, making it difficult for adequate urban planning. However, the government is engaged in strategic transformation of the situation through the affordable housing program.
Many of our cities and towns face problems securing and distributing sufficient supplies of clean water to the residents, ensuring effective solid waste management and proper sanitation.
The way we have designed this program is the same amount of money that you're paying to live in a shack is the same amount of money that you're going to pay to live in dignity and you own the home. So we have got houses that will only cost you 3,000 shillings to live in.
Resource inadequacy is nonetheless proving a stumbling block in the realization of the dignified housing dream, thus requiring the input of the private sector. Such is the case of LV Marina, a lakefront real estate development that is seeking to build an inclusive community that blends affordability and luxury.
We have extremely high-end houses near the lake where we're going to create islands there, and then villas, and then apartments, townhouses. It's a community that will bring all sorts of economic classes together.
Developed by Gulf Cup Real Estate, LV Marina, costing an estimated Kenya shillings 120 billion, will consist several social amenities and at least 1,400 affordable housing units, all sitting on 285 acres, less than a kilometer from the Kisumu International Airport.
Gulf Cup as a master developer has the resources to develop the project, but we will bring in like-minded investors, like-minded third-party developers to develop with us.
The project will take an estimated 6 years to complete. The Kisumu City Management says it is working on a moratorium that will ensure idle lands within the lakeside city are developed.
You cannot keep land for over 10 years, holding it there, doing nothing. This is a city, we want development. So we have compulsory acquisition. We also can take the land back. We'll buy it and bring serious investors.
In my manifesto for Kisumu County, I said that we must stop walking with a chicken and begin flying with the eagles. Today I can say that flying with the eagles is a reality.
For the Legends Edition from Kisumu County, I am Wycliffe Okech.
Public Health Principal Secretary Mary Muthoni has assured Kenyans that the Ministry of Health has laid all the necessary surveillance measures to prevent the spread of the Marburg virus into the country. Meanwhile, residents living along the Kitale-Eldoret Highway have called on the government to expand and rehabilitate the road to curb increasing road carnages on the busy highway. These and more stories in the County News Roundup.
Speaking during a visit at an elderly home in Murang'a County, Public Health Principal Secretary Mary Muthoni emphasized on the government's commitment to ensuring Kenyan citizens are protected against the Marburg virus. She, however, urged the public to adhere to the set of health guidelines to mitigate the spread of the virus.
We have not gotten any data that shows that there's Marburg in the country as at now. I know WHO, they have mentioned something to do with Tanzania, but as a country, we do not have Marburg in the country.
Meanwhile, residents living along Kitale-Eldoret Highway took to the streets to honor victims of a road accident that occurred along the highway. They, however, urged the government to expand the road to avert more cases.
Ona sasa hivi magari zina overspeed, hakuna bumps kwa barabara. Hivyo ndio lives mingi za watu tunapotea. So kitu tunaomba serikali waweze kutupanulia barabara, vijana tusiweze kufa. Sisi ndio tegemeo ya kesho.
Elsewhere, property owners and traders in Mombasa County have protested against an alleged eviction from a piece of land despite a court order allowing them to operate in the premises.
Na BBRT katuambia kesi yetu inasikizwa February 20th. Hiyo kesi ya BBRT imesema tufai kusumbuliwa na mtu. hatufai kutishwa, hatufai kuwa evicted. Ndio nashangaa OCS Nyali Police, hii ni ya jana 15th January, amekuja ametuambia lazima tuondoke at 7.
And the county government of Mandera has unveiled 3 additional ambulances and a fleet of new vehicles to assist in service delivery.
We'll make sure that they will be on road. Zile iko na makosa kidogo dogo tunarekebisha. Na 54 ambayo which are grounded na 31 motor vehicles tutaanza process ya kuziuza.
Also, a family from Nyaoni village in Rongo, Migori County is seeking justice following the brutal murder of their relative. The deceased is alleged to have been ambushed by his killers while on his way home after attending a funeral vigil at a neighboring homestead.
We have also people where we point as a prime suspect. So we want to the area administrators to do their job so that we can do the prosecution. So we know where the problem comes from. Finally, India constituency Member of Parliament George Kariuki has encouraged those who did not meet the university entry marks to join TVET institutions. He, however, requested the Teachers Service Commission to halt the transfer of Baricho Boys High School principal to Mangu High School.
Tunataka kutia bidii, hapa tumetia bidii hapa kwa constituency ya Dia kwa mambo ya masomo ndio tuweze kuinua hali ya maisha ya watu wetu hapa Dia constituency.
For Legends Edition, I'm Alvin Counder.
Well, it's time for sports with none other than our legendary Topi Liambela coming up shortly. Topi, take it away.
It's a pleasure, Edmond, to always be here on this Saturday evening and bring the best of sporting activities over the weekend to the KBC fans. And remember, KBC is your sports partner #1. Tonight, we start off with the marathon where 2024 Abuja City Half Marathon champion Shadrach Ngumbao and Lois Chemining were the winners of the 10-kilometer races during the Kenya Prison Service Inter-Regional Cross-Country Championship held today at the Prisons Staff Training College in Ruiru. More than 200 athletes from different regions took part in a one-day event. Our KBC crew was on hand to give us the following report.
Ngumbao took charge of the leading pack that comprised of Boaz Kiprugut, Silas Chepkwony and Frederick Musyoki from the start to widen the gap at the 9-kilometer mark and finish the race in a time of 30 minutes, 11.5 seconds. Boaz Kiprugut came in second in a time of 30 minutes, 43.5 seconds, as Silas Chepkwony completed the podium positions in 30 minutes, 48.0 seconds.
Ile kitu imebaki sasa naenda kufanya speed work juu nilikuwa nimefanya endurance kwa wingi. Ukiangalia venye nilikuwa nakimbia niko na endurance lakini sina speed. So naenda kunoa makali sasa kuweka speed.
In the women's category, World Women's Marathon record holder Ruth Chebungetich finished fourth in the 10-kilometer race, won by Lois Cheminin in 33 minutes, 9.07 seconds, as Brilliant Chepkoril and Lillian Ondera took the second and third places respectively.
Now, I'm going to continue with my training. Tuone itakuwaje nationals. Preparation ya London Marathon ndio nimeanza sasa hivi kwa speed walk. And I'm going to see, since I'm self-coach, so naenda kukaa chini nione how to train towards London.
The championship was used to select the Prisons Kenya Service team to next month's KBC National Cross Country Championship set for Eldoret. For Legends Edition Sports, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
While over in Nandi, Alfred Cheruiyot and Janet Chepngetich proved their mastery in mountain running after they won the Barngetuny Mountain Run National Championship held today morning in Nandi County. The two won their respective 14-kilometer men and women's races. Let's take a look.
Janet Chepngetich from South Rift was untouched and unchallenged in the hills of Nandi County as she won the women 14 kilometers Baringetuni mountain run in 1 hour 23 minutes and 18 seconds. She crossed the finish line way ahead of the rest, beating her closest rival and South Rift counterpart Mercy Chemutai by a massive 3.5 minutes. Miriam Chepkirui of the Run Together team had to settle for the bronze medal position in 1 hour 28 minutes and 4 seconds. Alfred Cheruiyot of North Rift replicated that performance in the men's 14-kilometer category, winning in 1 hour, 9 minutes and 4 seconds. He defeated Ken Koros of South Rift, who settled for the silver as the tired legs of Richard Omaya from South Nyanza pushed him to the bronze medal 31 seconds behind the champion.
This event is very important in very many ways, especially in terms of sports tourism. Number one, it actually promotes talent of the youth, which in itself is a very good opportunity for the youth to, to be able to gain from the talent that they have. But above that, it also gives an opportunity for us to be able to project what our country can be able to provide. And therefore, this mountain cities, which we have partnered with them through the Kenya Tourism Board, is targeting to promote sports tourism. It's also promoting talent. It's also promoting wellness tourism and also other aspects of conservation.
Josephat Tuwei and Timothy Kibet from South and North Rift respectively took the remaining 2 top 5 positions.
Wale watoto walikimbia last year Chepsaita ndio wameshinda katika province na sasa wanaelekea national. So one ni kwa sababu Kenya iko na uti ya michezo. Ni sisi tu viongozi tumeelekea kuwasaidia na kuinua.
There were 9 other races in the trail series, which included the 1 kilometer 8 to 12 years races for both boys and girls, 500 meters 5 to 7 years girls and boys, the 1 kilometer 50 years and above race, and the VIP 100 meters race.
What is our major focus? How do we prioritize? The person we have to prioritize is a person who is the athlete. And when we refocus that way, we realize that we have adequate financing for us to monetize talent after identification. But then what we are saying is that as government, we are looking into priority, nothing else.
Athletics Kenya is hopeful of upgrading the event and including it in the prestigious World Mountain Running Series, with plans already underway to elevate it to world status. The magical Kenya Mountain and Trail Series will feature other major events throughout the year, including the Nyamira Great Run in May, Mount Kenya Mountain Run Edition in June, Aberdares Trail Run Edition in August, Mount Longonot Edition in November, and the Mount Elgon Run in December.
Now, Kenya's upcoming tennis stars dominated the ITF CAT East African Zonal Championship to win 5 out of 6 titles in the under 14 and 16 matches played today at the Nairobi club. Felicia Ouko won the girls under 14 singles title in an all-Kenyan affair against Leah Gikunda, whom she beat in straight sets of 6-2, 6-4. The two partnered to win the doubles against Batseba Ogamba and Generica Rogoi, whom they beat in straight sets. The boys under 14 singles title was won by Burundi's Dan Muteremfue, who beat Uganda's Samuel Okello 6-2, 7-5. Vihan Bulsara and Ian Quadros beat the Ugandan duo of Cosmos Munguriek and Samuel Okello in 7-5, 7-5 to win the boys' doubles. Nancy Kawira carried the day in the girls' under-16 title when she came from a set down to beat Selina Hoya 6-2, 6-2 as Ayush Bandari overcame Burundi's Miki Nobel Inganereza by 2 sets to 1. This is some of the action from today. Talanta FC today upset FC Leopards 4-2 in the FKF Kenya Premier League early kick-off match at the Dandora Stadium. Former FKF Premier League champions Ulinzi Stars defeated Kariobangi Sharks 1-0 at the same venue to climb to the 10th position in the standings. The lone goal came from Javan Omondi in the 79th minute Kakamega Homeboys also beat Bidco United by a solitary goal at the Mumias complex as Mara Sugar thrashed Mathare United 3-0 in Awendo. Tomorrow, Tusker FC will aim to extend their lead at the top when they face reigning champions Gor Mahia at the Kenyatta Stadium in Machakos. City Stars will take on KCB while Bandari plays Shabana FC. Muranga Seal is scheduled to play Kenya Police, while Sofapaka is scheduled to meet Posta Rangers.
Washiriki. Wow. Javan Omondi. Ujio wake Javan Omondi. Wanapata goli. Majeshi Ulinzi Stars.
From rugby, the Kenya national sevens rugby team Shujaa left the country today for Australia, where they will take part in the third leg of the HSBC Sevens. And the team camped in the Nakuru before coming back to Nairobi for their final training ahead of the Perth Sevens, where they look forward to a victorious outing. The team is drawn in a tough pool with series leader Fiji, New Zealand and Uruguay in Pool C, having collected 11 points from Dubai and Cape Town. Head coach Kevin Wambua retained most of the squad members from those outings and brought in Vincent Onyala and Brian Tanga, who was out with an injury. The Perth Sevens is scheduled to kick off from the 24th to the 26th of this month in Australia.
And then they exploit the blind side, but look at the way he's able to keep his balance, push through the tackle. In Kenya, is that the turn off?
Now, table toppers KCB RFC registered their 5th straight win of the season when they thumped Nakuru RFC 34-5 on match day 5 this season's Kenya Cup at the KCB Sports Club. The Bangers had Nico Kulo, Rocky Aguko and Michael Wamalwa to thank for as the three found the try line in the opening minutes of the game, which they dominated to the final whistle. Felix Okoth scored the consolation try for Nakuru, who are yet to win a match this season. In other matches played today, Impala recorded their second win of the season when they defeated Kisumu RFC 17-12 as Kenya Harlequins lost for the first time this season when they narrowly went down to 26-24 to nondescripts. Cabras drubbed Mwamba 73-0 as South Coast Pirates stunned Strathmore Leos 18-8 to secure their first win of the season. Strathmore are yet to win a match in the 2024-2025 season. Let's take a look.
Next week we play Blood away, and we just have to go to the drawing board and look at what didn't work in this game, especially our finishing. And we had a litany of errors that we have to fix.
Nakuru is always a very, very good competitor to KCB, given the history that we have had together. But we were hoping for a bigger score, but we still take the win. We have a bonus point win, so we can just take the win and go back to the drawing board and work on the few things that didn't go so well for us today.
For London Marathon, two-time Olympic marathon champion Eliud Kipchoge will make his return to the London Marathon this April, where he will be going for his 5th title. The 40-year-old last participated in the event in 2020, where he finished 8th in a race won by Shura Kitata of Ethiopia. Reflecting on his mid-race withdrawal at the 2024 Paris Olympics, Kipchoge described the experience as discouraging, but remains optimistic about his chances of securing a 5th victory in London. Kipchoge made global headlines in October 2019 when he became the first person to compete a marathon in under 2 hours. However, the achievement is not recognized as an official world record, as the race was conducted under special conditions with a team of rotating pacemakers. And now still on athletics, African silver medalist Julius Yego is determined to win a second Olympic medal of his career at the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics. Yego has only one Olympic medal to his name, a silver, which he won in the Rio Olympics in Brazil just over 8 years ago. Let's take a listen.
5 times African champion Julius Yego is focused on winning a second Olympic medal before retiring from the sport of javelin and has his eyes fully set on Los Angeles 2028.
Was für ein Wurf von Julius Yego!
Yego, who was hampered by a series of injuries that barred him from performing to the best of his abilities during the Paris Olympic Games last year, wants to collect a second medal at LA 2028, as he will not be making any attempt at Brisbane 2032.
Yeah, he likes that. 35-year-olds and still going.
The 36-year-old has already qualified for this year's World Championship set for Tokyo, Japan in September, and believes the global event, together with the 2026 Glasgow Commonwealth Games, will be the right events to gauge his progress before heading to LA 28. Yego has already begun his build-up to Tokyo 2025 and has set a mark that he must attain at the World Championship and the Commonwealth Games in his efforts to get another medal at the Olympics. After LA 28, Yego plans to retire from his illustrious career and continue developing athletes at the Julius Yego Foundation, which will be launched later this year. On top of the Olympic silver medal he has in his cabinet, Yego has won World Championship gold medal, a gold and a bronze at the Commonwealth Games, 2 gold medals and a silver at the All Africa Games, and 5 gold and 1 bronze medal at the Africa Championships.
Star 570 hash. Option 1 kuna PS5 na ni full package na inakuja na JBL Party Box. Hiyo boom experience pia iko.
Dada's show felt it necessary to have a discussion on perimenopause, where we will get to explore the nuances of perimenopause in a bid to better understand it and to ease the transition.
So perimenopause is the transition to that point of menopause. Yeah. So as the eggs reduce towards the menopause, it means the estrogen levels also reduce. Yeah. And that comes with that now causes the symptoms that we get during the perimenopausal and postmenopausal period.
The night sweats were the most bothersome. Right now, the brain fog is easing and the insomnia has kind of resolved. But I've had to do something about it. The post, I think the perimenopause is the wildest because you have just come out of your youthful 20s, exactly. And now you're going through your 30s, and then towards the end of your 30s, things just are not working right.
For the strength to be strong, for the will to carry on. From a distance, we are instruments. Promise me you'll wait for me, 'cause I'll be saving all my love for you. Side me down to sleep, 'cause I pray that you will hold me dear when I need you. No, it's just no use, but I can't stay away from you. Some people wait a lifetime for a moment like this.
Big thank you for keeping it KBC. Now, the Kenya Volleyball Federation has officially unveiled the first ever edition of the Kenya Cup Volleyball Tournament with the aim of nurturing talent and elevating the game in Kenya. The competition will serve off in February following the draw, which was conducted today at Ruaraka. Let's take a listen.
A total of 17 teams, both men and women, will compete in the first edition of the Kenya Cup Volleyball Tournament from next month in Nairobi. The 5-month-long tournament will be played at the Kasarani Indoor Arena and Nyayo National Stadium.
We are very happy to introduce this very, very innovative tournament, the Kenya Cup. It's the first time that we are playing it. We wanted something that will be different from the traditional league and the tournament circuits that we've been having. We got to think outside the box, something that will have a different outlook, and also at the same time we wanted a product that will keep the teams busy, teams and players busy, also even during the off-season.
The competitive men's action will see GSU lock horns with Kenya Ports Authority, Kenya Army, Equity Bank and APK in Pool A, while Prisons Kenya will face KDF, Trailblazers, Chema and Kapu in Pool B. In the women's category, defending champions KCB have been drawn in Pool B alongside arch rivals Kenya Pipeline, Kenya Army and Kenya Defence Forces. Pool A has former champions Prisons Kenya, DCI and Postbank.
This is a dynamic platform where volleyball stars can showcase their exceptional talent, teams can mentor and nurture young players, and fans can experience 5 thrilling months of top-tier volleyball action. More importantly, this tournament serves as a critical preparation ground for the upcoming African Cup Championship in April, and of course the vision that the President has shared with us for 2028.
In an effort to develop the sport, each team will now be allowed to field 2 professional players in the competition that will run simultaneously with the KVF League.
Now we move over to the pools, where Adia Mwende from Genesis Sports Limited bagged 4 gold medals, a silver and a bronze, in the under 6-year-old category, girls category, during the one-day Nairobi event, Swimming Association 11 years and under Level 1 Swimming Championship held at the Kyoto School in Nairobi. More than 300 junior swimmers took part in the 2-day event. KBC gives you a ringside seat at the poolside for this very interesting record.
Junior Star took a time of 29.16 seconds to emerge victorious in the girls 6 years and under 25 meters backstroke ahead of Maira Mbogo and Daniela Monyeri, who took the second and third places respectively.
I joined swimming when I was 2 years old. My father taught me how to swim. I loved freestyle so much. When I was little, I loved going to swimming. I love swimming every day.
Nakaya Nakitare took charge of the girls 7 years category, with Hope Oje and Natalie Adera completing the podium positions.
The government is coming strong to sponsor, to pay for swimmers who do national duty. It was very interesting to see what happened in Bujumbura. Swimmers as young as 10 years old represent their country in a junior championship. So we expect to see more of that.
In the boys 10 to 11 years 100 meters backstroke, Ethan Rukungu took a time of 1 minute, 49.48 seconds to emerge victorious as Quintin Winters of Braeburn Swimming Club and Kyle Poppert completed the top 3 positions. The 2-day championship, which comes to an end tomorrow, has attracted more than 300 swimmers.
There's been a lot of interest. People, the fitness industry is also playing a major role because it's really encouraging swimming as a fitness sport. So eventually we end up benefiting because of the competitive edge of swimming that we usually provide.
I'm so proud of myself. I got all of the goals. I'm so happy I got a trophy. This is my first time to get a trophy. I will never get a trophy before.
For Legends Edition Sports, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
Oh, so cute. A winner champion at that. And now over for cricket. Obuya Cricket Academy will play Peponi tomorrow at the Peponi House Preparatory in one of the two charity matches that will set the ball rolling for the Obuya Sports Training and Educational Projects for the year 2025. The other game to be played tomorrow will feature Shield and Mudhangari cricket teams. Let's take a look.
For the second year running, Obuya Cricket Academy will play a charity match aimed at raising funds for the Obuya Cricket Academy Sports Training and Education Projects in partnership with MRM Foundation. The project aims at supporting children from humble backgrounds to be actively involved in the game of cricket. The first charity match was held in April last year, and the two teams meet again at the same venue to play the opening match before Shield cricket team play Mudhangari in the second encounter. The charity match partly supports the academy to realize its goal of supporting the education of at least 27 children each year in honor of Collins Obuya, who wore jersey number 27. The academy does not only support children from humble backgrounds, but also does cricket trainings 4 days a week, in addition to the clinics held in Kajiado. The education scholarships by the Obuya Academy have been spread all around the country.
On the international scene, the EPL results were Nunes Darwin scored a late-minute brace to keep league leaders Liverpool. And that is a wrap from me on the sports segment. But Director Amos tells me I hand over to Edmond, who has got one story for you, so don't go away. I'm Topi Liambila saying good night.
Okay, and thank you, Topi, for updating us with sports news. And this is a story that we want to wrap up with. A call for the government to channel more resources into promoting culture reverberated during the National Defence College Cultural Day event in Nairobi. Speaking during the event, the speakers led by the Kenya Army Commander, Lieutenant General David Tarus, said to enhance Africa's growth and transformation in matters of culture, stakeholders have to put strategies in place to propel the rich cultural diversities of different communities in Africa and beyond. More than 15 countries participated in this year's cultural event, which was commemorated under the theme of mitigating climate change through culture. Timothy Kibnusu reports.
The National Defence College Cultural Day at Ulinzi Complex National Monument and Museum in Lang'ata, Nairobi. It was pomp and colors different countries took to the stage to showcase their rich cultural diversities through traditional songs and dances. It is here that calls for the government to allocate more funds to promoting culture resonated.
We need to start reflecting seriously on the impact of our cultural practices on the loss of landscape, heritage, and species. This is why talking about how cultures are connected to climate change is not off topic.
Our recent studies indicate that there is need for a comprehensive policy framework that mainstreams cultural stakeholders into climate action. This includes funding and mechanisms for accountability to ensure that cultural values and practices are leveraged effectively.
Kenya Army Commandant Lieutenant General David Tarus has in the meantime underscored the need to review and align policies that will go a long way in ensuring cultural activities are embraced for a resilient and sustainable future.
I therefore wish to encourage all of us here today to pay serious attention to climate change and how culture can be utilized as a tool to preventing and mitigating effects of climate change, to indeed apply not only the whole of government approach, but also the whole of nation in developing a comprehensive and integrated response.
The African Union has an aspiration that to have an Africa with a strong cultural identity, common heritage, shared values and ethics. This aspiration is anchored on environmental sustainability and climate-resilient economies and communities to enable Africa to reclaim its natural heritage. And this is built on prosperous societies that, in the end objectives to reduce vulnerability to climate change.
At the same time, they call on the use of art and music to foster dialogue and promote a peaceful coexistence. The celebrations were marked under the theme of mitigating climate change through culture. Timothy Kipnosu for Legends Edition.
Thank you, Timothy. Simply beautiful. Africa is rich in culture. Well, that does it for Legends Edition this evening. And with all the thanks we give to you, our sign language interpreter, Lucy Maura, and the great team that has made this possible, I'm Edmund Mudebo. Stay well, stay safe. God bless.
In the name of Jesus Christ, Mungu anatarajia ukanyange hatua mbele. Wengine wametawaliwa na uchawi, wakati wao umefika. Wewe umenitazama siku ya leo. Neema na kibali cha Bwana kikawe juu ya maisha yako.
My name